It's now time for the Sudsy Wudsy Show, brought to you by Sudsy Wudsy. Sudsy Wudsy. It's an all-purpose cleaner. It's a car wash. It's a bubble bath. Yes, it's Sudsy Wudsy. Sudsy Wudsy now proudly presents The Adventures of Jimmy Ballpoint, private investigator, ear, eyes, and nose, the complete package. Jimmy Ballpoint.
This is where I work, the city. It used to be a nice place with nice people. But like everything else, they left. And now the city is a dark and gritty city, with dark and gritty sidewalks, with dark and gritty taxis. Downright depressing if it wasn't for the gum stuck under the tables at the automat. I'm Jimmy Ballpoint, private investigator, ear, eye, and nose, the complete package. My office is up 3 flights of stairs, straight up, right above a flop house. A little office with a desk, chair, sink, and a couch. Like I said, a dark and gritty place. But it's just right for a guy like me. The case that I'm working on now is the case of the cursor of the fountain pen. I've got to admit, of all the cases that's crossed my desk, this one is a doozy. I'm gonna make 500 smackers just to find a missing fountain pen. Well, it is gold-plated, but still. I wonder what's so important. Hey, wait a minute, Ballpoint. 500 smackers is 500 smackers. What do I care of the who and what? As long as the dough is good, hey, so am I. I didn't have much to go on. Kinda missing the details of what's what, with, of all things, a fountain pen, even if it is gold-plated. I figured if there was anything worth talking about this thing, Angel's Bar would be a good start. I made my way out of the door of my office and started down the stairs when I heard a loud crash coming out of Vernon's office. Vernon was in the private eye racket too. He specializes in divorces in process. A rough racket, to say the least. I made my way to the door of his office, and there Vernon was, wrapped up in a stepladder, a light bulb in one hand, a ceiling tile in the other, and a pigeon sticking out of his shirt. The window to the street was wide open, and papers were floating around, making their way to the floor. I didn't want to seem impolite, so I walked by his front office door and said, "Good morning, Vernon." I entered Angel's Bar, and the street noise and traffic announced my arrival. No one took notice. It's just the way it is at Angel's. I crawled up on a bar stool and took out a pad of paper out of my pocket and asked the mug next to me if he had a fountain pen I could borrow. The joint went dead silent. I looked around, and everyone had this strange look on their face. The mug next to me pushed himself away from the bar and left. So did just about everyone in the joint. Must be my aftershave, but then maybe, just maybe, I forgot to put on a clean shirt or something. Angel came over and slid a pencil along the bar, then told me to ask Willie the Welch in the dugout apartment of the Shylock and Loan building. Willie is the city's huckster, a relative of Old Man Pierogi. If I was looking for something, more than likely Willie could point me in the right direction. The building where Willie had his office was within easy walking distance, so I hooked it. I found his small office with a cement stairway and an iron railing leading to the dugout space under the building. Strange. All the lights were off, and it wasn't even noon yet. I tried the front door, and it swung wide open. I called for Willie, but there was no answer. I poked my head in to locate the light switch, and... Oh! Oh. What the... Trying to come around, rubbing the back of my head, trying to get to my feet, feeling a good-sized bump on my noggin. As I made it over to a large desk, I noticed a potato in a white sock laying on the floor. I dumped myself into a swivel chair and reached for a pull chain of the desk lamp. Well, what do you know? An Idaho spud whacker. I haven't seen one of those in years. Only a torpedo that's down on his luck would use one of those things. Off to my left, a key on the floor caught my eye. Strange. For a key to be laying there. I got up off the chair and went over to the key. I bent over and picked the key up and... I opened my eyes, and the stars rolling around my head told me that I was back on the floor again. Oh, this is just peachy. Rubbing the back of my head, found another bump right next to the last one. I reached for the doorknob on a closet door that was in front of me and used it to steady myself as I got to my feet. A key right in front of a closet. That's a coincidence. I turned the doorknob and it clicked open. The closet was deep and it was dark. I thought to myself that this must be where Willie kept all his records. Old Man Pierogi was a stickler for records. I reached for a pull string that dangled in front of me. I pulled it and a small light clicked on. I will admit, I was impressed with the row after row of file cabinets and all the boxes of bedding stubs. Yeah, the feds would have a field day in this place. Somehow, I woke up at the back of the closet, next to a push broom and a bent-up dustpan. I grabbed the long handle of the push broom and got myself on my feet. A little oozy, so I steadied myself and felt around for a light switch. Oh, great. The lights are off and I got 3 bumps on my noggin. Okay. Let's get something straight, Ballpoint. You're doing something seriously wrong here. Okay. No more picking stuff off the floor. Stay away from keys. No more turning doorknobs. And above all, no more reaching for and pulling light switches. I felt my way along the wall of cabinets, stepping on piles of books and papers, and finally made it to the closet door. The light under the door told me that I had made it. I was about to open the door when I remembered, hold on there, Ballpoint. Let's not be too hasty here. I was about to reach for the doorknob when I stopped, put my hand over my head, then turned the doorknob and walked out. After stepping out, it appears that I found the back door to the alley in the rear of the building. That part of the building that faced a portion of the alley that was being torn down, along with the fire escape that should have greeted me as I stepped out. Oh, gee. I gathered myself, brushed off the trash that covered me, and started to walk out of the alley. When there, I spotted, within the trash, a fountain pen, a gold fountain pen at that. You gotta be kidding me. I reached for the fountain pen, mixed with the trash, when, oh no. Oh! I was coming to, thinking to myself, no pull strings, no doorknobs to turn, no keys to pick up, no dark closets, and I'm still getting whacked out with a knob on my head. I looked over towards the alley opening to the street, and there laying on the sidewalk is a Boston baked beaner. That's a bag full of baked beans shaped like a blackjack. The Boston beaner was a favorite of the Tour-a-Lure mugs. If I wasn't so covered with lumps, I'd find out who was sending me for a nippy nap every 5 minutes. I started to walk out of the alley when a strange fog rolled in from the back of the alleyway. That startled me at first, but then my curiosity got the best of me, and I walked towards the shiny fog. As I got closer and closer to the light within the fog, a strange voice came out of the fog in a deep voice. I could hear, "You will surrender that golden fountain pen." At first, I assumed that some mug was trying to hustle me, a spoof, to get the gold thing. "That golden fountain pen must be returned to whence it came. It contains an evil spirit within its ink. Anyone and everyone that looks upon the ink writing will be cursed to repeat the same forever." I said to the mug in the fall, "You mean cursed?" "No, forever and ever, the writing of that evil pen and its ink will be called Cursor. Cursor will plague the youngest and the old. Return the pen for the sake of humanity." I then thought to myself, is the sake of humanity worth saving? Or am I gonna be out 500 smackers? Hey, Dutch. Nice pawn shop you got here. Say, how much you give me for this nice shiny fountain pen? Well, folks, that concludes another episode of Jimmy Ballpoint, Private Investigator, brought to you by Sudsy Wudsy, that all-purpose cleaner. Keep your radio dial on this station for next week's Jimmy Ballpoint, Private Investigator. Ear, eye, nose, the complete package.